because the Blazers, they had to battle the Oklahoma City Thunder tonight. We knew it was going to be a rough night because the Oklahoma City Thunder are pretty good. They are pretty good. And we talked about how we knew it was going to be hard. The Blazers were going to have to obviously bring their A game. They were going to need offense. They were going to have great performances by everybody involved. And that's kind of what we said last time, too. But the Blazers ended up losing that game in Oklahoma City just a week ago. That was not the case tonight when it comes to being blown out and not showing up. The Blazers absolutely showed up in this one. There was just a couple of stretches where the game was just too much for them to overcome. And, maybe the flop fest of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was a little too hard to overcome as well. This is the fifth quarter. I'm your host, Chris Burkhardt. If you want to join the conversation, 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. Of course, you can hit us up on the new Rip City Radio text line. Just text 88528. And last but not least, you can head on over to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio, and you can join the chat over there as well. The Blazers did not come out of the gate fast. I'll tell you that much. It was a rough first quarter. It felt a little bit like that first go-around in Portland back on November 5th, except it wasn't a 40-point outburst for Oklahoma City. It was just one of those games where, where's the offense? As the Thunder outscored the Trailblazers 24-19 in that first quarter. However, there were some things that you could start to watch. You're like, it might be one of those games. One of those things to watch was Deni Avdija. 9 rebounds in the first quarter alone. But the Blazers shot just 26%, including 25% from beyond the arc in that quarter, and that's why they trailed early. In the second quarter, they bounced back 36-30 in favor of the Trailblazers. In that quarter, Deni Avdija did his thing in the first half, and it was fun. You're like, okay, I see where we're going here. Deni Avdija had a double-double at halftime, 11 points, 10 rebounds. Jeremy Grant had 13 points. The Blazers had a 1-point lead, 55-54. The third quarter, Blazers outscored the Thunder 33-31, and things are looking good. You have an 87-85 lead heading into the fourth, and the difference in this game, in a game that was decided by just 8 points, was the first, 2 minutes of that fourth quarter when the Thunder went on an 8-0 run to take the lead. It was 93-87, and the Blazers tried but could not claw back. Final score 123-115. The Thunder outscoring the Blazers 38-28 in that final period. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, his game overall was pretty quiet kind of until that fourth quarter when all of a sudden he took over. He started hitting from the mid-range. He could not miss. Got to line a few times. The free throw merchant and the flop fest, it was there. We absolutely saw it. But it was just dang is about as good as you can put it, especially when you consider the wasted efforts that we saw tonight. What do I mean by that? Let's take a look at the box score. Starting on the Oklahoma City side of things, Lou Dort had 10 points, 6 boards, 2 assists, 16 points from Jalen Williams, 19 points, 9 rebounds from Chet Holmgren. Akson Wallace had 3 points. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 26 points. He had 4 rebounds and 5 assists. On the bench, they were led by Isaiah Joe and Kenrick Williams, who had 15 and 17 respectively. On the Trailblazers side of things, Chris Murray, 13 points. And that's a weird bit that I haven't even mentioned, the starting lineup, right? No Donovan Clingan. So the starting lineup was Chris Murray, Toumani Camara, Jeremy Grant, Deni Avdija, and Sidy Cissoko. So a small lineup, didn't go with a true center, didn't decide to put Robert in there or Dwap Reith or anything. Went small. Chris Murray had 13 points. Toumani Camara, a good offensive game, 19 points. He had 8 rebounds, 4 assists as well. 18 points from Jeremy Grant. Sidy Cissoko had 5 points on the bench. Caleb Love led the way with 12. Shaedon Sharpe and Robert Williams each had 7. Keep in mind, both Robert Williams and Shaedon Sharpe still having minutes monitored due to injury management. And you may have noticed I didn't mention Deni Avdija. Why is that? Because a second ago I said wasted monster performances, because Deni Avdija had an absolute monster performance tonight. He ended the night 31 points, 19 rebounds, and 10 assists. Another triple-double for Denny Avdia, who has been on an absolute tear. As the Trailblazers PR team pointed out, Denny Avdia is the third player in Trailblazers history to record 500 points, 100 rebounds, and 100 assists over the first 20 games of a season. He joins Clyde Drexler, who did it 3 times, and Damian Lillard, who did it twice. So that's pretty elite company to be in right there for Denny Avdia, who's playing at an absolute all-star level. Also, with tonight's 31 point, 19 rebound, 10 assist game versus OKC, Denny Avdia became one of 4 players in the NBA this season with multiple 30-point triple-doubles. Those 4 players, Nikola Jokic, who's done it 3 times, and then Denny Avdia, Cade Cunningham, and James Harden, who have each done it twice. So when people say that Denny Avdia is playing at an all-star level, that Denny Avdia has been absolutely unreal and is having a career season, they ain't lying, because he's absolutely putting it all together. It's just unfortunate that on a performance like that, the Blazers couldn't get the victory. And Coach talked about it post-game, and we'll hear from him just a little bit later, that, there's not really a moral victory, but at the same time, there's a lot of things that you can take from this game that he liked. Mainly, it was the fact that the team competed. They didn't get ran out of the gym. The offense was there. They did not bow down to Oklahoma City. They fought hard, and that's what we talked about in the pregame show. Wanting them to get back to that competitiveness, that consistency, seeing a Blazer team that we think can go in and win games. And they play like they did tonight. They're going to win ball games. They absolutely are. And that's a good thing to see. Denny is cruising. Jeremy Grant looked good. If you can start to get those performances out of guys like Tumani Kamara, who was wonderful, things start to click. And as you heard Travis Demers say before he tossed it over to us, I mean, the Blazers had one of the hardest schedules to start the season. That last stretch of 50 games, they're going to be a lot healthier. They're on pace to hopefully get guys like Scoot Henderson back here in the next couple weeks, the next month or so. Matisse Thybulle back, and you start adding those pieces that you've been missing, along with the way that Denny's playing, and you're going to find that the second half might be a pretty darn good half for your Portland Trailblazers. Once again, this is the 5th quarter. I'm your host, Chris Burkhardt. You can follow me on social at Chris J. Burkhardt. You can also comment and join the show today if you want to. You can hit us up at 503-248-0620. You can also go to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio. And, of course, the new Rip City Radio text line. Just text 88528, and we'll get your comments on the air. Where we get a comment right now that says, great or good teams finish, others unravel. And the thing is, first off, I don't know exactly who that's directed towards, because I don't think the Blazers unraveled. So I wouldn't pin that on them. But when you talk about great teams finish, yeah. Well, you saw an absolute great team tonight where they put the clamps on. They got everything they needed from SGA down the stretch. That's easily one of the best teams in basketball over the last few years. They're phenomenal. They're phenomenal. The next question is, Chauncey coming back if proven innocent? I have no answer for that. I don't know. I honestly don't know. There's so much to go on with the legal course of action that I don't know. I can't even make an educated guess on that. I want to see what happens. The legalities have to obviously play out and see what happens there. And if if guilty, it's not, you're not recovering from that one. And if innocent, we'll see what happens. I don't know. It's a good question. You're not the only person asking it, but I can't even take a guess as to what will happen, because there's so much unknown with that. I do know that there are a lot of people who want to know what's going on there. And then Tall Tim in YouTube says the only real difference this game was field goal percentage. Otherwise, they played even. And you look at the field goal percentage, the Oklahoma City Thunder shot 44%. Shot 44%. That was in the first half. You look overall, the Oklahoma City Thunder shot 48%, including 34% from beyond the arc. The Blazers, meanwhile, shot 39%. Possession-wise, it was pretty even, 90 shots to 89 for the Blazers. However, you look at the percentages and the shots they made, Oklahoma City only took 1 more shot than the Blazers, but they made 9 more. That's a big difference. And you talk about discrepancies and all those things. I mean, Denny Avdia lived at the free throw line tonight. He got there 23 times. The team got up there 37 as a team. to just the 32 of the Oklahoma City Thunder, and then you just start breaking down numbers and you're looking at it without watching the game, just looking at the box score. Rebound numbers were the exact same. The assist numbers 25 to 22 in favor of Oklahoma City. Steal game, neither one of them had a ton. It was 7 and 8 in favor of the Trailblazers. The turnovers were a little bit lower than you would expect. I think everybody did what they needed to do except missing some shots. So Tall Tim, I think you're on to something. That field goal percentage, definitely a big difference in this game. And, of course, we've kind of seen that play out with the Trailblazers all year long. I will still take this performance, though. I think you look at it between the lines, not just the result, not just what you see in the box score. I thought this was a pretty good game from your Portland Trailblazers. All right, we're going to take a quick little break here on Blazers Game Day. When we come back, we're going to hit you with our drive of the night and our shot of the night. And, of course, we still got Coach's Corner and a game ball to hand out, all coming up here on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620. Team definitely played well. They did exactly what you wanted them to do throughout this game. They played hard. They built up everything you wanted. They were locked in on the defensive side. The offense was churning, which is great. So all the things you wanted them to do, they did, except win. And you know what? That just happens sometimes. So I think you take it, you understand what this all means in basketball terms. We're talking about the defending champions. We're talking about the defending champions, a team that now sits at a very, very impressive mark of 20-1. They are 10-1 away from home, undefeated at home. But again, that one in 20-1 is your Portland Trailblazers. It would have just been amazing for them to give them two, and so you could sit here and go, the Oklahoma City have 2 losses, and it's to the same team. And I thought the Blazers gave them a heck of a game tonight. What was impressive, though, is when they wanted to lock in and really push forward and assert their dominance there in the fourth quarter, they did, and it was filthy. That's a good basketball team and fun to watch. Fun to watch. And the crazy part is they're missing pieces like they were tonight. No Caruso and no Isaiah Hartenstein. Those are 2 big pieces to their lineup, and they were still able to cruise and not skip a beat. It's one of those things that just makes them so deadly in the long run. You don't really have to change too much. Don't have to change too much. If you want to join the conversation, 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. Of course, 88528 is the text number where we go out, where it says, from Chadley, was at the game tonight. Don't get me wrong. He's good, but watching the flopping takes away from the game so much. As Charles said, you put someone in who will give you the real foul, and he'll think twice about driving and pulling that nonsense. And I know what we're talking about. We're talking about SGA. He flopped more than once. I saw a tweet today, and I wish it was a deep dive article, but it was talking about how guys like Anthony Edwards, and I think Denny kind of is falling in that same category. Not the exact same, but like guys who don't flop are getting hurt by the constant flopping because they're getting hacked when they go to the rim and they're not getting the calls. But the guy who embellishes the hit is absolutely getting the call. And that I thought that was spot on. And it's a problem that the NBA could and should fix and get rid of, because the flopping is wild, man. That foul where he barely got touched. I can't remember who was guarding him at the time. I feel it was Jeremy Grant. Maybe it was Caleb Love. It was someone, but he barely got touched at the free throw line and flopped so hard that he slides about 50 feet. What are we doing here? You didn't even get touched. And sometimes they all do it. There was another one there. I think Jalen Williams did it with Tumani Kamara guarding him, grabbed his face like he got hit, and no, it's Chris Murray. And I was like, Chris Murray's wasn't even close to you when you did that. The flopping is crazy. The flopping is crazy. I don't know who you blame for it. I'm not blaming SGA. Gosh, I feel like James Harden really, really changed the flopping game. We all know Vlade Divac's got the bad rap for being a massive flopper for the longest time, so I don't know who's the one to truly blame, but it is egregious and it is annoying. It changes so much about the game, and it's just not who you want to be. It's not how you play. Another comment says the old Bulls would have smashed OKC. Well, that's an old head take. Most people who from the old days would say that too. The Chicago Bulls were absolutely crazy. They were absolutely crazy. Different game, different rules, obviously. I think this Oklahoma City team, though, and I know I know we've battled about the old school versus the new school multiple times with this particular texture, and I love it. I think this Oklahoma City team would actually play really, really well in that era. More so than some of the other dynasties, like the Golden State Warriors dynasty they'd thrive too. They'd play well, but they would their style of game was nothing like that old school. But this Oklahoma City team plays big and plays physical. It reminds you of that old school basketball. It'd be fun to watch guys like SGA and Lou Dort play in that era. They'd fit in. I absolutely think they would. The only one who wouldn't fit in would be Chet Holmgren, really. Isaiah Hartenstein kind of plays with that old school style of play because he's just a big bruiser. Caruso, the way he plays defense, I mean, I would pick the Bulls too. I don't think there's a team in the history of the NBA that I'm picking to go against them. And I watched obviously the New Age Golden State Warriors and all that. Like the Bulls were unreal, absolutely unreal what they could do both sides of the floor. Guys like Michael Jordan being the best offensive weapon in the game, but also one of the best defenders. Like that stuff was filthy, absolutely filthy. I do think this Oklahoma City team would be so fun to plug into that era, though. I think they would adjust well. I absolutely do. But I'm still taking the Bulls. Who wins the 7-game series? The 2025 OKC or the 2015 Warriors? I got to take the Warriors in that one. The prime run Warriors were nasty work. I mean, nasty work. The offense, the way it churned, the defense, they could get it done everywhere you needed to do. Like, that team was unreal. Unreal. And, man, it's just, those series, right? So many games, NBA Finals, Cavs, Warriors, LeBron getting over the hump. You look at that team, though, I mean, Curry, Clay, Dre, prime guys too, and prime Dre was filthy. Prime Clay was good on both sides of the ball. They got good minutes out of guys like Harrison Barnes. Andre Iguodala was one of the best bench guys, 6 men of the year. Andrew Bogut, good defensively. I mean, you go through that lineup: Livingston, David Lee, Mo Spates. There's a name. Leandro Barbosa, Trailblazers legend Festus Ezeli. All right, but that 2015 Warriors team was good, and I know they get so much pub for their offense. They were a really, really good defensive team too. So I would take in 7 games. I would take that Golden State team. As good as Oklahoma City is right now, and yes, they're defending champs. Like that dynasty that the Warriors put together was something else. Absolutely something else. Good question though. I like these. Throwbacks. Uh, don't forget the Hey, don't forget the Blazers beat the 72-9 Warriors too. Every dog has his day, my friend. Every dog has his day. So, hey, it's basketball. That team was so good, though. I wish you could do this, though. I wish this wasn't a hypothetical. I wish you could just, okay, we're going to put you in this time machine, go back and see what could happen. Like those old Bulls teams, the Warriors teams were built close to that. A lot of good offensive players, good two-way guys, lockdown defenders. I mean, Draymond is their Dennis Rodman. Klay Thompson is the Scottie Pippen. Like the Robin to the Batman, who's also really, really good on both sides of the floor. He didn't run the point forward position like Scottie, but he was that guy. And then obviously Steph. Like, Steph absolutely changed the game. The reason these teams are taking more threes than we've ever seen in our entire life is absolutely insane, and it's all because of Steph Curry. I think if you go back to what was it, the 80 what year? Like the 87 year, which is like one of Michael Jordan's just like best off the rails years. Is like he averaged 30 something points while only averaging .8 threes per game. Like, the dude was taking barely a 3-pointer per game and was averaging 30 points. That's some absolute unreal efficiency when you think about it. In the YouTube chat, Tall Tim points out that OKC likely has 2 first-round picks in the top 10 this year. Yeah, thanks to the rights that they own and all this stuff. Yeah, they're not going anywhere. They are not going anywhere. They have the ability to either say, hey, we want to draft some guys, or, hey, we want to trade and bring some even better assets in, which is scary to think about. I don't know how much you mess with that, though, because that team's so good. That team is so good right now. Maybe you trade some of those picks out. And hey, I'll give you this fancy 2027 first round pick, but you got to give me 2 picks in the future. Give me 2029 and 2031. Like, we're gonna look that deep. They could wheel and deal and be set up however they want to. It's gosh. Ryan says Shea looked lost out there to start the fourth quarter. Shea's just in a different spot, coming off the bench, getting the minutes in, and I don't know if he was lost as much as it was weird. They all 5 of the guys on the floor, they let Oklahoma City leak out for those easy those were easy cherry-picked buckets. Like, if you're running a rec at the rec center, you're yelling at that other team for cherry picking. Let me tell you what, you're running a pickup game. That's what was going on there. It was just a little weird start to that quarter. That's absolutely correct. Timmy says, I blame Chris Paul, LeBron James, and James Harden for flopping. No. Harden, yes. LeBron has done it. So is Chris Paul, but not at the same level that a James Harden did. Oh boy, James Harden was. James Harden also, gave us the era of pump fake, and then the defender leaves his feet, and I'm going to jump into him because that's definitely a basketball move. No, it's not. It's not a basketball move, and you've ruined the game. Okay, you haven't really ruined the game, but I could rant. All right, once again, you can join us. 88528 is the text line. Thanks to our texters. Those are some really good comments and questions thus far. Where another one says, tonight's game felt like watching Joe Hendry versus Randy Orton in Mania. We had hope. We believed. But OKC got the late RKO. Also, that's a massive WWE pull, too, because Randy Orton pulling the Joe Hendry, look into the cam, the turn and look. Yeah, money. That's why he's a vet. That's why he knows what he's doing. And once again, that telephone number, 503-248-0620, where we'll head out right now to Christina, who's been waiting patiently. Christina, welcome into the fifth quarter.
That game was bad. Both my guys were in the starting lineup.
Hey, you got your guy Jeremy Grant though. He was all right.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah. And Chris Murray. Hey Chris, I have a question for you.
What's that?
My birthday is coming up December 5th, and I was wondering if we could eat spam together on air if I call in and we could eat spam together.
Well, that makes me laugh. If we could eat spam together, well, I got to get on the spam train. I got to have my boy Timmy hook me up, buy me some more spam musubi. That's an away game though. I don't know if I need him coming to the studio just to give me some spam. If I told him though, like, hey Timmy, I need you at the studio, drop off some spam musubi, we can make it happen. But hey, you call into the fifth quarter, we'll see what we can do, Christina. You gotta make sure you got some spam at the ready though. Make it a nice spam musubi too. You can make that. It's easy. Grab it at home. It's phenomenal. Or go down to Roxy's, pick it up. But you give me a call on December 5th. We'll see what happens. All right, we're going to take a quick little break here on the fifth quarter. When we come back, we're going to hit you with the Coach's Corner and our drive of the night, our game ball. But before we do, it's time for our shot of the night.
Live from the Coors Light Studios. Coors Light, mountain cold refreshment. Choose chill. Time for the fifth quarter shot of the night on your home of the Portland Trailblazers. 620 Rip City Radio.
Gives it to Avdia in the lane, slips through, kicks to Murray, wide open corner three, buries it. 2-point game, 93-91.
Welcome back into the fifth quarter. Chris Burkhardt here with you. If you'd like to join the conversation, 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. And, of course, you can text us at the new Rip City Radio text line. Just grab your phone and text 88528. Or I get the comment that says, Chadley. It was not the lobs. Okay, it was not the lob Clippers area of lob. Okay. I'm trying to read this. There's some spelling errors here. It was not the last Clippers era of Lob City. It was Flop City. There we go. Now I figured it out. Lob City was fun. Blake Griffin could jump out of the gym. So could DeAndre Jordan. But, yeah, Flop City, I can get down with that. I get what the comment was earlier. Like Chris Paul and LeBron James were like, I don't think either one of those guys holds a candle to James Harden personally. The flopping tonight, though, it just the NBA has to do something about it. It's so bad. It's not good for the game. It's filthy. And like I said, the tweet I was reading today about, these guys flop, and then the guys who don't flop kind of get the short of the sticks. They don't get those calls, and I felt like it's just so true. Kind of ridiculous that happens. All right, Blazers take on the Thunder tonight. Battled hard, but they fell 123 to 115. I've gave my thoughts to you, but I'm pretty sure you want to hear what Coach had to say. And let's figure it out. Let's head to the Coach's Corner.
For the latest on tonight's game, we head to the Coach's Corner with Tiago Splitter, live from the Coors Light Studios. Coors Light, mountain cold refreshment. Choose chill.
All this moral victories, but I think we compete. I'm proud of the way they compete. And then in the end of the day, we can make mistakes, we can miss shots. For the most part, I think we compete. We had a chance to win the game. This is a great team, to put it in a nice way. This is a great team, and it's hard to play against them. We try everything we had, different matchups, going small, going big, zone, trap. So it was a lot of things that I threw with them, and they performed well. But in the end of the day, you still got to make shots, and they were able to make more than us.
What happened at the beginning of the fourth quarter where there was like a few possessions in a row where they just kind of got out in transition?
Yeah, had 3 turnovers in a row. Just got to be smarter, and knowing that, Oklahoma is a team that shrink the paint a lot, and we know that. But you got to be patient because they close the paint, and for a moment you just forget about that, and you just go through your habits, and you think you're going to have a layup. You're just going to pass the ball out, keep playing, be patient. And, those 3 turnovers were tough.
How would you assess the offense's execution in the fourth quarter when OKC started aggressively denying Denny the ball so much?
Yeah, there's 2 ways to put this. We have more space to play 4-on-4 or try to get the ball to Denny. I think we try both ways. Try to set him free a little bit and then go. I think we did this a couple of times, and like I said, they try things, we try things, and but they did better.
OKC's pretty much been blowing everybody out all season long, except for the Blazers. What are you doing to game plan? Is it just throwing everything at them but the kitchen sink, or what's kind of your perspective on that?
Yeah, basically, we had to face, a guy like Donovan out tonight, so I knew that, we had to throw different lineups out there and try different things, playing smaller. I think we did a good job for the most part rebounding, being that small. Try to create confusion to them, and Shea, even though he still scored 26, but he's been, getting way more than that. And but like I said, they have players all over the court that can hit shots and attack the rim, so wasn't enough.
Also, just what's just standing out about Denny right now? Each stat line from each game seems to get only better.
His motor, it's very good. The ability to get in transition and find gaps, find funnels and attack the rim. Tonight he didn't make a shot outside, the paint or whatever, but his ability to find those angles and attack smaller defenders, bigger defenders, is a tough matchup. So he's doing that. We're trying to take the most juice we can out of it and create offense that way.
There you hear from Coach Tiago Splitter, and he talked about Denny Avdia there at the end. And yeah, Denny was unreal. He was on another level tonight. He has been all season long, and gives me just a little bit of an easier job doing what we always do to end the show, and that's hand out a game ball. It's time for game balls.
Who is the MVP tonight for the Trailblazers? It's time for Game Balls on Fifth Quarter, live from the Coors Light Studios. Coors Light, choose chill.
Yeah, this is about as easy as they come. The game ball's going to Denny Avdia. 31 points, 19 rebounds, 10 assists, another triple-double. Only the third Blazer to have 500 points, 100 rebounds, 100 assists in their first 20 games. That was the number I read? Like, that's just like, whoa, that's phenomenal. It's phenomenal stuff, and he's playing at an all-star level right now. It's one of, 4 players in the NBA with multiple 30-point triple-doubles this year, the other 3 being Nikola Jokic, Cade Cunningham, and James Harden. That's a special category to be in, absolutely. We also got a comment on the text line. It says, is Luka part of the free throw merchant flopper conversation? I think if you're breaking down players right now, maybe Luka's like an honorable mention. Like, I think Luka's game is so good and he does so many good things. Like, I get it. I know that he's flopped and we've seen it, but like everybody has flopped at some point, but none of them are like Shea is just makes his career on it. Like, he's pretty wild with it. Luka can be, but like I just don't think flopper when I think him. I think flopper when I think James Harden. But also, as I said multiple times today, don't hate the player, hate the game. They're taking advantage of the way the game's called, which is, at the end of the day, the smart thing to do. It's more annoying that the refs fall for it and let it happen. Anyway, Blazers fall to the Oklahoma City Thunder tonight, 123-115, ending a quick homestand. They hit the road now. They got a game on Tuesday, December 2nd, against the Toronto Raptors, who are playing good basketball. December 3rd against the Cavs, who are pretty good. December 5th against Detroit, the best team in the East, and December 7th and 11th against Memphis and New Orleans. So a chance to play some really good teams, a chance to hopefully pick up some wins. It's going to be a fun little trip and a good test for this Blazers, and gets them all one step closer to getting healthier and getting everyone back, as you heard Travis say. You get through this tough stretch, middle of the year, start figuring some stuff out, and then maybe you start getting some players back, and it's going to be absolutely wonderful. All right, that's going to do it for the fifth quarter tonight. Once again, the Blazers battle hard, but they can't give the Oklahoma City Thunder their second loss of the season. They fall to OKC 123-115. And I must say to the fans that showed up tonight, wearing a Kevin Durant Seattle Supersonic jersey to an Oklahoma City Thunder game is definitely a choice. It's definitely a choice. Those wounds are still fresh. Bring back the Sonics, dang it. Do what is right, NBA. Make it happen. Once again, Blazers will be on the road, start a 5-game road trip on Tuesday, December 2nd. That is a 4:30 tip-off against the Toronto Raptors, which means I will have game day for you starting at 2:30, all right here on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio, 620. Until then, we'll talk to you next time, Rip City.